Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Wednesday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, coming to you from a soggy East Memphis, Tennessee, with my guy, Drew Gann, a.k.a. Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, brother. It is soggy here, too. Just that weird, miserable rain, you know, where it's like not rain, but there is liquid kind of just, you know, drizzling from the air, and it's more like a haze. It's just the worst. It's just the worst.
Same thing here. It's kind of constantly misting, and then it'll rain for a little bit, and then it'll go back to a mist. And it's just kind of a gross day, especially when you have a job like I do, where I'm going to spend the rest of the day out in it, knocking on doors, going in and out of offices. Thankfully, I have quite a few meetings this afternoon, so I won't be in and out of it too much, but I am grateful to be here with you and the usual suspects here on YouTube. We got Jared, we got King Meeks, Wayno hopping in the comments, literally as Wayno is currently sitting in the pouch of a kangaroo in the Great Down Under, where he spends most of his time when he's not training Milo. So thank y'all for being here. If you're on X perusing, come on over, come hang out in the comments with all the cool kids. We'll be here talking for the next 45 minutes or so on a game day for the Memphis Grizzlies. But before we get to that, Drew, it's Wednesday. And that means one thing: real or counterfeit.
That's right. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. This is a sports show brought to you every single day on the Bluff City Media family of networks here, family of shows on the Bluff City Media Network. And we start our shows off typically with just a little tomfoolery, some shenanigans, the whole shooting match, whatever adjective you want to throw in there. And on Wednesdays, we do real versus counterfeit. That's where Rusty has a take, an idea, a thought, and he pitches it to me. I tell him whether he's an idiot or not. If he's an idiot, I say counterfeit. If he's not, I call him an idiot, but agree with him this time. So, what we got?
It never changes. It never does. Well, this one's a little bit of a cheat. I am going to throw up, just a reminder, we have our college football Saturday show this Saturday at Grind City Brewing. Your schedule has been released. We're going to have Vandy and Texas.
That's a nice-looking jersey that pretty girl's wearing.
Yeah, something like that. Vandy and Texas at 11, 2 o'clock, Georgia, Florida, 6:30, Oklahoma, Tennessee on the big screen. And Drew, not only is that going on Saturday, which we're super excited to be a part of, it's also the 901 Hot Wing Festival. And if you've known the Two Bucks for very long, you know we are wing connoisseurs. And so you know we're going to be there for the Hot Wing Festival. So I've got a real counterfeit about wings. And it's two-part. And the first one is the layup of all layups. Like, it's the easiest real or counterfeit I think I've ever given you. Number one, bone-in traditional wings are better than boneless, A. And B, with the right answer to A, flats are better than drums.
Okay, well, we'll start from the top. There's only one style of chicken wing, and it is a bone in it. I don't know if you've ever seen a chicken have a boneless wing. You know, have you ever seen a live chicken running around with no bones in its wings? That doesn't happen. There's only one sort of chicken wing. If you eat chicken wings, they have the bone on it.
Absolutely.
If you're eating chicken without the bone in it, those are nuggets.
They're adult chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
if you can shape it into the shape of a dinosaur or various different things, it ain't a wing.
But it's just, you know, and if that's what you like, I'm done kind of telling everybody you're an idiot for eating boneless wings, because, you know, there are times and places where you may want chicken nuggets and not wings. Let's just quit calling them boneless wings, because it's asinine. It is just not real. It's not a real thing. It's like a unicorn's like, you know, I don't know. Maybe in the past, in the land of dinosaurs and whatnot, there were little horned horses that run around here, but that's just not real. And what else is not real is a boneless chicken wing. It is just chicken, arguably chicken, that is without bones in it. And so just don't even call them that. And I won't have I won't have an issue.
Absolutely. There used to be a place in Corinth. I don't think it's still there anymore, but Drew and I once, for my birthday one year, we celebrated it with a large group of friends to the tune of about 250 wings because they were 50 cents a wing. Like, and we had like 200, and we
It's
were
still
hungry.
$125 worth of wings.
Yeah, and we were still hungry, so we called up Grandma's Hands in Corinth, and we're like, "Hey, we just ordered like 150, 200 wings. Can we get 50 more?" And they were like,
Yeah.
"Sure." And they were the whole wings, Jared. You're absolutely right. The whole wing is superior, and the hot honey gold that they would do is the best wing I've ever had in my entire life.
To step it up a notch, like if you can get a half chicken, get a half chicken. I love just there's this barbecue joint that started in Corinth. You know, it's Rib Shack. You know it if you've been through Corinth. You've been to Rib Shack. Love Rib Shack. They've opened one up in my hometown now, and I have on somebody else's dime had lunch there, and they said get what you want, and he ordered chicken breast, and I was like, well, that chicken breast is $12. The whole chicken is $13. I'm just gonna get half chicken. I'm gonna get the half chicken, and that sucker was awesome. I mean, you got a wing, a leg, a breast. I mean, it literally. I don't know what I was expecting.
It was a 4-piece chicken.
It looked like you had literally severed a chicken in half, and it was cooked that way. It wasn't like a. It didn't come in the individual pieces.
No, I get it. You essentially got a put together 4-piece chicken.
I saw the line in which they cut this chicken in half.
Yeah. Corky's here in Memphis. I know that's not legit like Memphis barbecue anymore. It's kind of people turn their nose up to it, but Corky's does a smoked half chicken with 3 sides that is banging. And it's just, I think Central does it too, but there's nothing better. And I've done this before. One of the best cookouts I ever did was for the Daytona 500 many years ago. I just got a smoker. Yeah.
Woo!
And I just got a smoker. They don't scream Mississippi. I don't know what does. But I bought like 4 or 5 whole chickens because they were like, they were on sale for whatever reason at Kroger. And I cut them in half. I brined them overnight. I rubbed them down with some Applewood seasoning, injected them with some Tony Satcher's Creole butter, and slow smoked them for like 4 hours. But every 30 minutes to an hour, I'd spray them down with apple juice. And they had this like sweet, crispy crunch on the outside. And like, that's probably the best thing I've ever, like I cooked like, I ended up having like 8 half chickens thinking like, we're going to have like, there's going to be like 4 or 5 people here. Everybody will eat one. And then I'll have 4 I can eat on for the rest of the week. Nah, brother, I ended up with 2. Like we just kept eating them because they were perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a good smoked chicken, and especially a smoked chicken wing. Oh, man.
I've never done a smoked chicken before. I've done a mini of smoked turkeys. It's my favorite thing to put on the green egg. I feel like I've got it down. I love doing a smoked turkey on the green egg. I'll have to do a chicken though. I need to go find me a whole chicken somewhere.
Do you like beer can chicken, whatever? But we're off topic here. So for me, I love a flat. I like the drum. I'll eat it. I'm not picky. I'll eat them both. But if like feet to the fire, you got to choose one. I'm more of a flat guy. And I say recent, like a year or two
not
ago. Not
visually.
No, I'm not at all. I'm more rotund.
You're more of a leg guy.
That's it. I'm built more like a leg. But I saw somebody take the flat, you hold it on one end, you put it down on your plate, and then you push it down. I saw that a couple of years ago. Then it's just perfect. You can just clean it off super easy. Love a flat for sure.
I'm out on anybody who didn't figure that out on their own. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, we've eaten enough wings. If you didn't figure that out on your own, I don't know why you needed the TikTok video to show you. That's one thing that a society is missing, just as a whole. The younger generation has to be shown everything. They want to look up best ways to do things. We're Googling stuff. We're TikToking.
Used to, I would take them and I would
get out there and figure it out.
I would take them, I'd pull them apart, clean each bone. It was good. That's a much more efficient way. You get all the meat in one glob, dip it in your blue cheese.
Oh, I remember the first time I ate flats, and I was just nibbling around the bones, and you had to like stick your tongue in between the two of them. And I was like, I as humans do, I modified my behavior. I learned, tested other theories, and I mean, you just take it and you push the chicken off one end of the bone and slide it in, slurp it off. I mean, I don't know.
It's perfect.
To your other point,
immunity.
Immunity.
Slide it in. Yeah, slide it in and slurp it off. I'm calling immunity on that.
Well, hey, we're talking about chicken wings. It's dirty business. Okay? There's no way to do it without a lot of jokes being made in your direction.
Absolutely.
Like Ted Lasso once said, eating chicken wings like riding a horse. If you're comfortable doing it, you're probably doing it wrong.
Did wrong. Exactly right. Exactly right.
But yes, flats are superior to to drumsticks or to legs. I agree with that, and it's also just the flavor of meats. The cut of meat's better. It's not.
Agreed.
It doesn't tend to get as chewy.
One last little point, because we spent a lot of time talking about wings, but it's because of the 901 Hot Wing Festival this Saturday, 12 to 6, Grind City Brewing. We're going to be there live at 1:30. I showed y'all the games earlier. I prefer a dry wing to a saucy wing. And I'll eat like the honey gold. I'll eat the buffalo sauce. But if you give me like a spicy buffalo, a lemon pepper that's dry, I do prefer the crunch and crisp of a dry wing. Maybe give me your flavored sauce to dip it in, add a little bit to it. But I just think it keeps the crunch and flavor a bit better when it's a dry rub wing.
I'm equal opportunity on that. I think there's a time and place for both. If you're going to have a dry rub, the wing has to be cooked better. Like, you can't miss on a dry rub wing. If you overcooked a dry rub, then it's just not good at all.
It ends up being tough. Yeah. And King Wings has got it here. Best wing is a grilled wing with no sauce. You can grill it or smoke it to that crispy perfection. And the Happy Brunch Spot does a really good job with them that comes to Grind City Brewing. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of great opportunities this weekend at the 901 Hot Wing Festival for some good wings. But again, a good smoked, crispy, dry wing is perfect with some dusting on it.
What do you know who's going to be the vendors out there providing wings? Is it going to be multiple? Is it going to be one place catering? Or
no? So what it is competition teams. I went to this many years ago. It used to be at Tom Lee Park downtown. Now it's at Grind City Brewing. And what they do is there's a ton of teams. I remember one that tied me in a knot. They were called Wing Nuts, and their logo was like the Metallica logo. And what they did is they smoked their wings, and then you told them they had like hot to unbearable. And I've been looking all day for a good hot wing. So I chose the unbearable where they just pour the sauce over it. Brother, it lit me up. That was the spiciest thing I've ever eaten. I went immediately across the road to Twin Cakes and got a cream cheese icing frosted cake. I don't remember what it was, and ate it because I needed the dare because I was dying. But they're going to have a bunch of teams lined around the exterior of their yard, kind of around the whole area. And so each team is going to have wings available for you to try. You make donations to get your wings. The donations go to the Memphis Child Advocacy Center, and then you get wings from each individual team that you want to go to. So that's how it's going to work this weekend. And then there will be a winner at the end of the day.
Sweet. I think that's going to be probably, I don't know. I'll have to really sit down and put pen and paper, pros and cons list for both. But two of my favorite cook-offs would have to be, I'm going to a chili cook-off tomorrow or Friday night. Chili cook-offs. I mean, maybe that's old Southern Baptist coming out in me or something.
No, I'm not there with you.
I've never been to a hot wing cook-off before, but I can't imagine it could be worse, Yeah.
Buddy, it's going to be awesome. Like chili cook-offs at a church where you've got white chicken, you got venison, you got regular, you got spicy.
It's Fifth Sunday. Everybody bring your crock pots.
Your crock pot. And you're sitting there in the service and you smell it coming from the fellowship hall. And you're like, Brother Randy, you got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. Be brief.
Buddy, you don't think I'll walk out of here before the invitation? You're wrong.
Yeah. And I'll come back with a bowl of chili, but you got 5 minutes before I'm going to get some chili.
Yeah, if you're still preaching when I come back, I'll sit right back down.
I'll sit right here and I'll listen. And I'll have a tray of about 6 bowls, but I won't listen, but I'm going to have my chili. But
y'all says in the comments we need to do a steak cook-off. And I agree with that. I just don't think I could afford to attend a steak cook-off.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit that's another tax bracket that we're trying to get to, but we're not there yet. But y'all come hang with us this Saturday at Grind City Brewing from 12 to 6 for the 901 Wing Hot Wing Festival. We're going to be there with a show from at 1:30. I will be there hanging out, watching football, drinking Grind City Brewing beers, eating fresh hot wings at the Hot Wing Festival. So y'all come hang with us. But before that, Drew, we do have a Grizzlies basketball game tonight.
That's right. That was our best in beef segment. It was not our best in beef segment. I got to thinking about food. It was our real or counterfeit segment, not about beef, but about chicken. And listen, I'm starving. But thank you for bearing with us through our first segment, which is not about sports. We're getting into sports now. The Grizzlies play tonight against the Phoenix Suns. I know they're late tip-off on the second game of this West Coast road trip that they're on. And listen, I think that this is an important game. It's important because after that Golden State game on Monday night that went kind of haywire, you felt like you got sunned a little by the old Grizzly vets and kind of felt like little kids. You're playing a team that is extremely gettable, that's going to be in the top, in the lottery selection, and you're getting their pick. You need to get right mentally and just do the right thing for the organization by getting a win
and for the
tonight.
fans, right? Like Grizzlies tonight on FanDuel. Go over there for your home for all things Memphis Grizzlies wagers. Grizzlies are 1.5-point road favorite at Phoenix. Grizzlies are minus 120 on the money line. The over and under is set at 241.5. The fans need a win tonight, Drew. There's some unrest and there's some unruliness after a Golden State debacle. I've got the post-game bounce tonight. Kenny's hopping in with me. We're actually going to go live early. We're going to go live towards the end of the fourth quarter, especially if it's a close game. We're going to go ahead and hop in early, so y'all come hang with us. We're going to watch the end of the game together and then go right into the post-game bounce. Figure it'd be fun to watch, especially if it's a close game. But tonight, we need to go out and we need to get a win. The Grizzlies need to finish off this. I think this is our last road game before we come home on Friday. It is, because I'll be at the game on Friday night against the Lakers for the spooky matchup. The Grizzlies are a 54.7% favorite on ESPN.com right now. You need to go win this game for multiple reasons, many of which we've already named. Help them lose so we can have a better draft pick. Get the team right. Show that this team travels. They don't have Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green. Dylan Brooks is out. Jalen Green is a game-time decision. He has not played recently. There could be an opportunity to go take advantage of an already depleted Suns roster without two of their better players. And it's a get-right game for the Grizzlies, who have Santi Aldama as a game-time decision. I heard he's kind of trending towards maybe being out tonight. But Vince Williams Jr. is set to make his season debut if he goes through pregame warm-ups without any issues.
Do you know, or can you guess? I'll give you $100. I can't shake you, but I can't shake your hand right now, but virtual handshake is binding. I'll give you $100 American in cold hard cash on Saturday if you can tell me the 3 Phoenix Suns players that logged over 40 minutes in an overtime game Monday against Utah.
Bottom of the bench is Malawak. Is he one of them?
No, not even close. No, Kamon Malawak did not play.
So close.
You were 4 minutes shy, 40 minutes shy of getting 40 minutes.
Who is it?
You don't even want to try for $100? You got one slam dunk.
Devin Booker.
Okay, Devin Booker played 44 minutes, got 34 points and 10 assists, and was still a -5.
Ryan Dunn.
No, Ryan Dunn. He was 23 minutes shy of 40. You're not even sniffing this.
Jordan Goodwin, Memphis Grizzly. Give me Jordan Goodwin.
Jordan Goodwin is not on the roster. I don't even know what you're. All right, one of them is a former Memphis Grizzly.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah. You have disqualified yourself for the $100. So, Royce O'Neal.
Hey, Jared called out Royce O'Neal in the comments here.
yeah. Jared Googled that. You don't get both of those just off the top. Oh, my first guesses are Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen. So, Mark Williams got 31 minutes. Colin C. Gillespie got 32 minutes. So, yeah, you're going to get a lot of Mark Williams and Nick Richards, Isaiah Livers.
You've got 2 former Charlotte Hornet big men who are plagued with injury issues tonight. Against Jared, against Jock Landale, possibly without Santi. Like, this is this is a team you should go bully. Like, this shouldn't be close.
Game. This is hilarious. In a game that went to overtime and you lost by 4, in 17 minutes, Ryan Dunn was a -29.
Yikes.
How does that happen?
Yikes.
If he just doesn't play, this game is not even close.
Yikes.
So,
yikes. And by the way, Jordan Goodwin is on their roster. He has logged 5.5 minutes in the 2 games he has played. He has just not played a whole lot.
Well,
I want the record to show he's not in LA anymore.
There he is. Sorry. But he got a DNP. So, I mean, you
I went for low-hanging fruit.
I ask you to pick players who played over 40 minutes, and 2 of your first 3 guesses were guys who did not play at all.
The way you said it, you'll never guess them. So I'm going to the bottom of the roster. You got to.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on. So,
but yeah,
this is a big game.
The third leading minute getter is Royce O'Neal, averaging 32.8 minutes per game, not points, 11.8 points per game. It's a rough game. It's a big game that you've got to go win. Like, we don't need to go play with our food. We need to go out there and we need to go beat them to sleep tonight, especially with it being a late tip.
Yeah, and I just think that this is important. I just think everybody should buckle up for this Grizzly season. I don't see a scenario right now, or at least in the short term, where we're going to go on a run of winning a bunch of games. I don't know if you've looked at the Grizzlies' schedule past, the first 8 or 10 games that we're talking about here. You've got a stretch here as you get into, let's see, obviously we're playing the Suns today. Where's the calendar? That's what I'm looking for. You've got Suns, then Lakers, and then you go Raptors, Pistons, Rockets, Mavs, Thunder, Knicks, Celtics, Cavs, Spurs, in all those in a row.
Remember, we're going 10 games at a time on this show, Drew.
That's about 10 games. Yeah,
we're doing a heat. We're coming up on game number 5. Our next 5 are our 5th one is Phoenix, and we've got Lakers, Raptors, Pistons, Rockets, Mavs. That's all we're looking at right now. I know it gets worse after that, but we're looking at 10 games at a time.
We can look at results after 10 games, but the whole schedule matters when you've got a game against Phoenix that you should win and a game Friday against the Lakers at home without Luka and LeBron that are virtually must-win games because you're going down the stretch here. And this team, and I don't want to let last year's team affect this year's team wholly. This team didn't beat good teams at all last year. And you've got a stretch of about 8 games against playoff teams.
Not to be that guy, but there was also a guy on this show that was saying this very thing, what you were saying last year. These games matter. We need to go beat these Brooklyn and these Chicago games. And and several other people were like, wow, it's October. It's November. These games don't matter.
I never said that it didn't matter. I mean, just listen.
Check the tape.
Yeah, you go back and check the tape. You're the one making the allegations here. I'm the defense. I've just got to poke holes in you. You provide the evidence.
Remember.
I don't trust your memory.
When I'm on my free time.
Your memory sucks. That's what I'm saying. And if that was true, I would have been making a big deal in the post-game bounce about the loss Monday night against Golden State. It's early and you've got to figure this out, but it is important. You've got to beat bad teams. That's just that simple. You've got to beat bad teams, and if you're peers with a team, you need to win 50% of them. That's how you end up in a top 4 seed. It's not sweeping against good teams. It's beating all the bad teams and splitting all the teams that you think are peers.
Because for us last year, look, just comparing last year to this year, again, we're not going to hold the sins of last year against this year, but through our first 5 games, we went 2-3. Our wins were Utah and Orlando. Our losses were the Rockets, the Bulls, and the Nets. 3 of those teams, like the Bulls and the Nets were terrible. They ended up being awful last year. The Bulls snuck into the playoffs at the tail end, but they were not good teams. We had no business losing those games.
No.
We have an opportunity to flip that this year and go 3-2 if you get a good win against Phoenix tonight, which is what you need.
Yeah.
Flip it a little bit.
I think it's funny. Like, you're flipping the numbers, but flipping, it's not exactly flipping it on its head.
Hey, listen, we take what you can get here, right? Go 3-2 instead of 2-3.
I want to see John Morant be more efficient scoring. And Jared Jackson Jr. is going to have to figure out a way to get shots up that matter.
Yeah, he only had 9 shots the other night, and they weren't.
It was really bad. And you're seeing what teams are going to do to us. There is no third option, and in a vacuum, if you just look at how many guys did the Grizzlies have last year that could get you 30, versus how many of the guys on the Grizzlies team this year can get you 30. Right now, you're down a guy. And you're seeing that. They are putting more of an onus on Ja and Jaren, and as they should. You've got to have Jalen and KCP make shots, or they're going to have to get out of the lineup. It's somebody 100%. You're going to have to find somebody there that can make threes. If it's Santi, if it's Ced, if it's Cam Spencer, I don't care. They're going to double Jaren anytime he gets the ball. and make him kick to one of those guys, they've got to make it. And Ja is just, they're going to let him take as many threes as he'll take. Just guys, they're going to play off of him, force him to shoot threes, and swarm him when he tries to get to the basket. There are opportunities here, an abundant amount of opportunities here for people to shoot threes. You've got to hope that some of those guys can get to 40%.
To 40 as Drew freezes there a little bit. You back?
Yeah, I never left.
Yeah, you froze just a little bit.
Get to 40%.
Yeah,
I think you go to Coward. I'm ready to pull the I'm just ready to rip the Band-Aid off altogether. Go to Cedric Coward, make him your starter. I don't care who you replace him with. I've vouched for KCP being in the lineup preseason and bringing Jalen off the bench. I don't know if Jalen's the guy that I thought he was, what I hoped he was going to be yet, to be a bench number one guy yet. He's probably a role player in whatever unit he's on. So I don't know if that works in my theory.
But you're right.
Play out.
We talked about this after the game the other day against the Warriors. You've got to have somebody other than John Jaren, because there's going to be nights like the Warriors game where John Jaren don't have their best stuff. So you're going to need somebody else to step up. I agree with Jared. I agree with you. I think KCP is the veteran we need in the starting lineup. Jalen would be great first one off the bench. And so a starting lineup of Josh, Cedric, KCP, Jaren, and Jock for tonight would be an ideal place to go. I think eventually before the end of the season, it's going to be Josh, Cedric, KCP, Jaren, and Edie. I think that's the lineup of the future. But we're kind of middling right now, right? Like, we are a top 10. We're the number 8 ranked offense in the NBA through 4 games. We're averaging 122 points per game. We're shooting 31%, right at 32% from 3. But if you look at our defensive stats, this is where we've struggled. We're 26 in the NBA, giving up 125.5 points per game. Our opponents are shooting almost 42%, 41.3% from the field, from 3, and 48, right at 49% from the field. So our defense has got to step up, and tonight would be a good night for that against a depleted Suns team. If you can step up and take advantage of a team that is down, whose offense is not the best, or 18th in the NBA, averaging 116.8 points per game. It's a good opportunity to get the defense right.
What do you if I were to tell you that Cedric Coward was starting tonight, who would you bench?
Jalen.
Okay.
I like Jalen. King Meeks asked the question, what does that do to Jalen? To me, Jalen is,
I don't care.
He's a glue guy. And
You're
I think he knows that. You're a professional. I get that. But I think he's a glue guy. I think he is a great role player. I think he knows that. And I think if it's me, I'm starting KCP because you need a veteran, 100%. I think you need a veteran in the starting lineup, and you put Cedric in for Jalen, 100%.
And the reason why I asked that is not to rehash the topic that we've had, but to introduce maybe a third option. Jock Landale is not a starting center in this in this league. I think Jock Landale is valuable to this team, but I also think that he is playing way too many minutes, and he is having to do things that he probably would rather not do. And I think that he's struggled a little bit. What if you went small and had Ced in there, and you go 3 wings, Jaren at the 5? I worry about Jaren's foul trouble there, but if you're talking about defense, if you can throw out Trip, Jalen, KCP, and Ced in a lineup, that's a defensive nightmare on paper anyways.
I mean, why not? What do you have to lose? This is a game you can try it against. Nick Richards and Mark Williams are not formidable bigs. They're not guys that are going to dominate the paint. Jaren would be able to defend either one of those and hang with those guys, especially with Santi being a bit banged up. If he doesn't go tonight, I would love that. I think that's a great starting small run the floor, especially with the pace and intensity we like to play with. Let's give it a shot, man. What do you got to lose?
In the half court, you add another shooter. I know Jock's knocked down some threes to everybody's surprise, and the shot looks good. He's not going to be a volume guy, and he's not going to be a guy in the short term that's going to be respected out there. And so you get another shooter out there, as well as this cornerstone, allegedly, of the TI offense is a lot of 5-1 pick and rolls, and they say that John, you've actually seen it a few times, not a lot, but a few, where you're doing the Jaren pick and roll. If you're going to do that and really want to feature it, then then you don't really need Jock Landale on the court, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he's a great guy to spell Jaron.
As long as Jaron can set the screens correctly, that is.
And keep his hands by his side. It drives me nuts. He sets screens like this, and that's going to get you a call every time.
He's getting in his pass block.
That's it. He's ready like pass protection.
Yeah.
He's going to start backing up.
Moving screen. I see it all the time. Yeah. Joe Thomas is a Hall of Famer doing this. Why can't I?
Why can't I? But tonight on FanDuel, if you want to go for a same-game parlay, you can get Cedric, 10-plus points, Grayson Allen, 15-plus, Jaren Jackson, 20-plus, and John Morant, 25-plus points. $10 wins you $75.69. You plus 756 on FanDuel. This is one they're cooking up. This is a popular same-game parlay, one that you can go play around with if you think that these guys are going to get buckets tonight, and I think they will. And I like the idea that you just threw out of Cedric starting.
What can I get for Ja to go like over 35 tonight? Because without Dylan Brooks, you don't have that little pest. You know that I know Royce O'Neal is still a respected defender, but I need Ja to get on his bounce back tonight. I need him to be efficient. He is really good, and we talk about even on his bad nights. I wouldn't call him his performance against Golden State a bad performance because he did have a lot of assists. He had some highlight assists. He was doing good. But you've got to be able to score the basketball, and he has just not been able to get with it the last few games. And so I'm hoping this is a get-right game.
200 plus 200 to go above 30, plus 480 to go 35 plus. This, like, with everybody getting 50 burgers, why not Ja Morant tonight? Why not Ja go get his tonight?
Listen, you were kind of on the Lauri Markkanen trade, you know, and the trade deadline.
Sure.
It may be empty stats. You know, they had to go to overtime with a 50 burger from Lauri Markkanen against Phoenix.
Yeah.
But dang it, if Lauri Markkanen gets you 50, I need to see a Ja 50.
Wayno and I had the same thought at the same time. Maybe it's Ja. He said that he posted that as I was saying it. Maybe it's Ja's turn to go get his 50-point game.
And
tonight.
the 50s have come from just the most outrageous spots.
Yeah.
It's like Austin Reeves and Lauri Markkanen. Who else was it? I don't remember. Wayne will tell us who the other two were, but it seemed like just outrageous people.
SGA had one. I know he had one, but he had like 20. But on that night, he had like 26 free throws. He was like 22 and 26 from the free throw line.
That was opening night. Against the
so there was one other one. I can't remember who the other one is, but there's been four. It's SGA, Austin Reeves, Lauri Markkanen. You know, one of these is not like the other in that aspect. Maybe two of these is not like the first. But anyway, the Memphis Grizzlies tip off at 9:00. Oh,
Aaron Gordon.
That's who it was. Against the Thunder, I think. He just was like a friggin' bucket that night in an overtime loss. In an overtime loss, 10 for 11 from three against that same Thunder team. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. Grizzlies tip off at 9:00. Get your coffee, get your caffeine ready. We got a late tip. It'll be on FanDuel Sports Network with our guys, Pete and Brev. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side of the commercial break, Drew, we got to update some Heisman odds because the conversation was had over the weekend of Vanderbilt. Yes, you heard that right. Vanderbilt has launched a Heisman campaign. Stick with us on the other side of the commercial break.
Fans are always going to boo. I mean, I've seen times when
they didn't go to start that game, but after the 5th and 6th and 7th injury, at crucial moments of the game, I think fans are smart enough to pick up on the fact that you're doing some gamesmanship there, Alex.
I've seen times in games when fans get fired up enough that anytime someone goes down on the field, they're booing, whether it was a play that was clearly an injury or something that was clearly a player going down. Like, it's just the intensity of the game, the motion of the game. Fan bases are going to do what fan bases are going to do with football games. I'm sure he was not in the best headspace and not happy about the way that the game played out, and he wanted to take a pot shot, and he did.
I think it's a shitty pot shot, brother.
I don't disagree.
You cannot do what you've done on record. You can't do that type of gamesmanship and then bitch on the back end.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 10 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the $2 Sports Show. Appreciate everybody here with us, hanging out in the comments section. If you're watching on X.com or AM/FM or wherever if you've got some rabbit ears that are able to pick up, a stream coming out of my house, I'm just going to invite you right now just to come on over to YouTube right now. All the cool kids are hanging out with us. Most of the fun part of the show is just getting in the comments and hanging out with us. We're just a little added bonus.
Yeah,
and now we're just going to talk about some college football.
Yeah, and before we get to the Heisman campaign, Drew, I have got a question for you.
Okay, I have an answer.
There are 7 teams with at least 6 wins against the spread this year. We love to talk college football spread on FanDuel. There are 7 teams with 6 or more wins against the spread. Can you name any of them?
Vanderbilt.
No.
Memphis.
Memphis is 7-1 against the spread. They are tied with 2 other teams with the best record against the spread in college football.
I would say it's probably
one of them's the best team money can buy.
Ohio State.
Ohio State is 6-0-1 against the spread, but there are 2 teams along with Memphis that are 7-1 against the spread.
You're going to have to give me some hints here.
All right, one of them's in the SEC, one of them's in the Big 12. Again, the Big 12, best team money can buy.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is 7-1.
Yeah, they're blowing the doors off everybody.
And there's one other team in the NCAA that is 7-1 against the spread, and they are in the SEC.
Alabama.
No, they are in the great state of Mississippi.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State is 7-1 against the freaking spread.
That's right. I should have. You should hang a banner. You should absolutely hang a banner.
SEC West Division champs. They're
co-champs.
Co-champs, exactly. But of all the one of the best bets this year in college football is Mississippi State against the spread. We're 7-1 against the spread. The one time we didn't cover was in a win over Alcorn State. We were like a 28-point favorite. We won by 25.
Yeah. The dam's going to break one way or the other with Mississippi State. They're either going to break through or they're going to have to just give up. I don't know how long the human spirit can take.
You've seen the meme where it's like, stop giving me your toughest battles, and then it's Jesus and the other one, and it's a Mississippi State, the guy with a hat on, and it's the guy with Mississippi State hat. Stop giving me your toughest battle. And then Jesus says, good God, how are you still alive?
Right.
That's my life this football season. But the other teams, Ohio State 6-1, Hawaii is 6-1. San Diego State is 6-1, and Boise State is 6-1 against the spread this year. But your Mississippi State Bulldogs are 7-1 against the spread, but not on the season. 4-4 on the season.
Yeah, 4-4 on the season?
0-4 in the SEC, 4-4.
Yeah. Listen, if there's SEC storyline to talk about, it is this week. SEC storyline to talk about this week. It's the fact that Mississippi State is playing Arkansas and Auburn is playing Kentucky.
1-19 against the conference.
There's a lot of this SEC wants to, promote its strength of schedule, and you can do that, I guess, but this league is not as deep as it's been in the past. I think the SEC is going to have a lot of holes in its schedule, and my team is one of them. I'm terrified to be 10-2 if Ole Miss loses a game to, say, Florida or Mississippi State. I'm terrified being 10-2 at the end of this season and hoping for like a strength of schedule bump because Ole Miss doesn't have a good win, or their best win will be on the road at Oklahoma, but the schedule is not the team.
Well, it's compacted,
not deep at all.
Well, it's compacted, right? You've got a few elite teams. You've got Alabama, you've got Texas A&M, and I would lump Georgia and Ole Miss. You got 4 teams that are at the top. There's a gap, and then it's compacted in the middle. There's a lot of parity there in the middle. And I would still, again, like we talked about yesterday, Iowa ain't beating 5 SEC teams, right? There are still good teams in this conference. It's a bit usually it's top heavy with Alabama and Georgia. And then you got a few more teams in that elite, and then it's super minutia there in the middle, especially with Mississippi State. We've lost 4 of our 4 losses. 3 of our 4 losses in conference are 1-possession losses, 2 of them in overtime.
I would argue that the SEC's strength in the past was that they were top heavy. They were dominant in the national championship game. You won so many straight, but the league was probably deeper then than it is now. I think that the SEC's top end is not as top as it was. I don't think you can take the 4. I don't think that there is definitive proof that you could take the 4 best SEC teams and have them play a Big Ten schedule and the record be that much different. I think you're still going to beat up on the bottom half of the Big Ten, and then you Alabama, I don't know, would be a heads-up favorite against Indiana or Oklahoma or Ohio State or Oregon.
So that's the top of the. I think they would against Oregon. They would be if you look at Pate's power rankings from last night. I saw them on Twitter based on the FanDuel model. The top 2 teams that be favored are Ohio State, Indiana, and then Alabama. If I remember it right, I saw it this morning at the gym. I listened to him after our show, but I'm trying to. So it's Ohio State, Indiana. Then you've got A&M, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Georgia would be the next 4 teams favored on a neutral field, followed by Oregon and Notre Dame, Miami, and then Tennessee and Texas are your top 11. So you've got 5 SEC teams that would be in the top 11 favored on a neutral field. And then
I just think that the middle of the SEC. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
No, I mean, just looking at the lines from this weekend, right? This upcoming weekend, Ohio State is a 20.5-point favorite over Penn State. They're going to blow out Penn State.
Yeah.
Miami is an 11.5-point favorite over SMU, another team. They blow them out. Louisville, 10.5 Virginia. Then you look at the SEC slate. Indiana, 21.5 points over Maryland. Georgia, 7.5 over Florida. South Carolina and Ole Miss is 12.5. That line is not as big as you would think it would be. Oklahoma, Tennessee is a 3.5-point game. Those are 2 teams that are in the top 30. Oklahoma's the 13th ranked in Pate's power rankings. It's I think the conference, again, is more compacted. Yes, you don't have that wide gap of elite teams, but I think it's because any Saturday in the SEC, if Florida beat Georgia this weekend, I don't think any of us would be oh my God, what happened? It'd just be well, that's a rivalry game in the SEC versus if Maryland beats Indiana, you're going to be shocked.
I agree. And I agree with all that. I just think it could equally make a point. The point could be that the SEC doesn't have a dominant team. I think both of those
That's the point I'm making is we're not as dominant. There are 4 elite teams, and then the rest of the conference is just compacted. It's really close. There's I don't think that South Carolina and LSU, I don't think the gap is super wide there.
No, I think they're both
in the conference.
Remarkably average. And in years past, you could say that there may be 5 or 6 teams in the SEC or 7 teams that were world beaters, and you're okay, they would go 7-0 against the best 7 teams from another conference. I don't think that's the case. I think you may have 2 teams and then 3 teams that are heavily flawed, and then the rest is just garbage.
I mean, you look at because you look at if you look at just pure what am I trying to say? Win-loss. If you just pure results, right? You've got teams in the SEC. You go all the way down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in the SEC are 6-2 or better. 9. You go all the way down to Oklahoma. After that, if Florida's 3-4, LSU's 5-3, 4-4, 3-5, 4-4 Mississippi State. But you look at the Big Ten, and the Big Ten is a lot of they've got a lot of 5. Minnesota's 5-3, Northwestern's 5-3, UCLA 3-5. Maryland 4-3, Rutgers 4-4, Penn State 3 wins, Michigan State 3 wins, Purdue 2. These are overall, not conference.
Yeah, and I guess maybe I need to reframe the way I'm looking at this too, because I'm looking at this when it comes to not the whole conference, but how can you make a case that your team should be in the playoff over a team from another conference with the same record?
This is okay.
That's where I'm just kind of a little weird because a win against LSU I don't think gets you anything like it did in the past, and a win against Auburn doesn't get you anything, or
I think
a win
it
against
does,
Florida.
Let's look at this. Let's name a Big Ten team. I'll let you pick one of the more elite Big Ten teams. Pick one.
Okay. I'm not going to do Ohio State. I'll say Oregon. I think they're number 3. Yeah.
So we're looking at Oregon's schedule. All right. I'm just going to walk through Oregon's schedule, and let's take a middle of the road: South Carolina, LSU, Missouri, one of those teams, right?
Call it LSU.
Okay, LSU. So do you think LSU? So Oregon right now sits 1-2. They're 7-1.
Yeah.
Do you think
with
LSU would to Indiana, based on the schedule? Do you think LSU would be at or around 7-1? Montana State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Oregon State, Penn State, Indiana, Rutgers, Wisconsin. Do you think LSU would be around 7-1?
I think they would be exactly 7-1. I think they'd have the exact same record as Oregon.
Okay, so that's a middle, lower tier of the SEC against an Oregon's schedule.
Again, I'm not making the argument that the SEC is beneath the Big Ten. I'm just saying, for the first time ever, I don't think the SEC has an argument to say we are this head and shoulders above the rest of the conferences like we used to.
So I think it's the opposite. I think what the SEC can't say this year is we have a team that is better than anybody else in the country.
If you're going to let 2, you've got to let 6. Yeah.
But like I'm saying, I think as a conference, we are better because the NIL has kind of made it a more level playing field. But I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. I think Indiana's close behind them. I think an argument could be made that Miami's up there. Georgia Tech is one of the better teams in the country. I think you get past Ohio State, Indiana, then you start talking about the rest of the teams. I think Ohio State is head and shoulders the best team. I think they're going to blow the doors off Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. But Indiana's also a good team. Then you may throw Alabama, maybe throw A&M there. But I think the conversation for elite best teams, I think there's a better argument that you should have 2, maybe 3 Big Ten teams, 1 Big 12. Then you can make an argument for the playoffs if it ended today. I mean, there's an argument for A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Texas. All of them.
At least the 2 teams that make the SEC championship game, which looks to be Alabama and A&M, will both get in.
Yeah,
and so that's where I'm scared. As an Ole Miss fan, I'm scared because if we drop a game at this point, Ole Miss is, I believe, 7-1. With their best win is a road win at Norman. That's really good. I'm terrified that's going to look really average later because they're going to own a heck of a run here. And then a home win against LSU, and if you go to 10-2, that means you either lose to Florida, South Carolina, or Mississippi State, which is going to be a bad loss. Compare that to a league, a Big Ten league that may have a 11-1 team that looks, all they've got is another win in the left column.
And so for me, I think an argument can be made in that scenario that your mulligan is Georgia, and then you have a loss against Mississippi State, let's just say, right? Or Mississippi State's your mulligan, and then you've got Georgia. Because that was Pate's point a couple weeks ago about Ole Miss. The biggest thing for them is last year your mulligan was you lost to Kentucky, so you lost your mulligan. Then you lost to Florida. Yeah. This year you haven't done that, right? If you get to the Mississippi State game and then you lose to Mississippi State and you finish the season 10-2 and your 2 losses are State and Georgia, the State game's your mulligan. I still think you could be an at-large team. Jared's asking who is the 4th best SEC team, and I think this is a great conversation because I think there's a strong case for Ole Miss. I think there's a strong case for Vanderbilt, and then I think there's a gap before you get to Texas, Tennessee, Missouri, and Oklahoma.
Shoot, I don't think you can really. You give Georgia the nod at 3 for sure. I want to see how that season ends because you can't. The heads-up matchup, Georgia's going to get the 3 seed. That you play that game 15 times and you're liable to be 8-7. And so they only play it once. So, I would say it's probably Ole Miss. Right, or it's I can make a case that it's Vandy right now based on what
like,
they're just saying. But at the end of the season, you can look back and say that it's Ole Miss. But right now, I think you can project Ole Miss at 11-1 much easier than you can project Vandy to be 11-1.
Yeah, because the remaining schedule, you talked about Ole Miss's. Vandy still is not done with their schedule. They've got Texas this weekend. They got Auburn, Kentucky, and then they play at Tennessee. But Jared brings up a good point. Tennessee has yet to beat a team with a winning record. Like right now, Tennessee has beat Mississippi State. They lost to Alabama. They lost to Georgia. The Mississippi State is the team with the best record that they have beaten this year so far, and we're 4-4.
Is Tennessee just has the one loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, they lost twice. They lost to Georgia, and then they lost to Alabama. But they lost to Georgia by a field goal. They got blown out by Alabama.
I feel like Tennessee and Vandy and Missouri, it's going to happen in Missouri because they're on their third-string quarterback now. I feel like a lot of these teams have a loss out there. You're just kind of waiting. Mm-hmm. I don't feel that about Texas A&M. I don't feel that about Alabama. And the odds makers and the people who don't know what it's like to be an Ole Miss fan see Ole Miss as a pretty solid 11-1 team right now, which just scares the absolute piss out of me. I've seen this movie before. Yeah. We're going to lose.
That's it wouldn't be
if our only SEC loss is to Georgia at the end of the year, then we will have lost to the Citadel. You just wait. We're finishing this season 10-2.
It's just going to happen. You're going to have a Lane Kiffin goof up at some point. The distraction's going to get there. Hopefully
this goes way further beyond Lane Kiffin. You cannot.
God, I hope it's the Egg Bowl.
We're going 10-2 this year.
God, I hope it's the Egg Bowl. But if speaking of the best team, as we wrap up this show, the best team often has the best player, and I've got a video here real quick, Drew, where Diego Pavia believes
I love him.
I do too.
Vanderbilt launched the campaign this week. Do you believe you should win the Heisman? Why? But beyond all that too, how bad do you want it to just kind of, for your O-line, for the rest of the people around you to prove what you guys have done here?
First off, hell yeah, I believe it. We just got to keep winning football games. And, I feel like the schedule that we got, obviously it's a difficult schedule playing in the SEC. You'll play a lot of ranked teams.
So Diego Pavia believes he is a Heisman finalist, a Heisman candidate. And FanDuel agrees. He's got the fifth best odds at plus 950. Fernando Mendoza is your leader at plus 185. Julian Sayin, Ty Simpson, and Marcel Reed. Drew, do you agree with Diego Pavia as a Heisman candidate?
Well, the good thing about Diego Pavia is that the way that the schedule lines up for him, you want to kind of peak at the right time. If you can end on Thanksgiving weekend with a win against Tennessee, is that in Neyland or is that in Vandy?
It's at Neyland.
If you could go at Neyland the Saturday after Thanksgiving and beat Tennessee, then yeah, I mean you deserve to be there. Like you can't decide who's going to win it yet, but he should be invited for sure. And
yeah, I mean, because if you get
there's a very real possibility that Indiana will go 12-0, and no one in the world has watched Fernando Mendoza play football.
Yeah, and that's it. The one time you'll watch him, he might get absolutely shredded by an Ohio State secondary, right? Like that'd be the one time that I have watched Fernando Mendoza is when I watched the Big Ten championship game against Julian Sayin, who's second place at plus 400, who's probably the most vanilla Heisman Trophy candidate, right? Like he's good. He's having a good year, but that team is just so deep across the board that I feel like of all the candidates on here, he's the one being carried by the rest of his team the most. And I've only watched him play once, so that there's partly that. Maybe that's some SEC bias. But Ty Simpson has made some big throws. Marcel Reed has the opportunity to continue to grow on this, but he makes some boneheaded decisions and will have some just ghastly turnovers. But think about this. If you go into that Tennessee game with one loss, that means you will have beaten Texas in Austin this weekend at 11 a.m., beat Auburn, beat Kentucky, and then we're talking about not only a Diego Pavia Heisman candidacy, we're talking about a Vanderbilt team that's going to the playoffs as an at-large team because you will have wins over teams that were ranked at the time, South Carolina, LSU, Missouri, Texas, and Tennessee, and your only loss was a close game to Alabama where you turned the ball over twice in the red zone, or you might have won that game.
You're Texas A&M upset on rivalry week away from being in the SEC championship game. possibly.
As the Vanderbilt freaking Commodores. And
the stock market is going. The stock market will crash if a Vanderbilt quarterback wins the Heisman and leads their team to the playoff.
Brother, what if? That's the thing. What if Alabama? You play Alabama in the SEC championship game as a revenge game, and you go and you get them on a neutral field.
Jared says that if Bama drops you in the championship game, I don't think that's true because Alabama beat them heads up.
As the heads up.
Alabama, that would be their only loss in SEC play.
Yeah, their loss is at Florida State, and they've got LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn. Maybe the Norman game, maybe LSU. They play LSU this weekend. Sometimes after a fired coach, maybe LSU finds some life this weekend. I'm not going to hold my breath. It's 6:30 and it's in Tuscaloosa. You got Norman, you got Oklahoma coming here. Then you go to Auburn. At Auburn is tricky because what if Hugh Freeze has been fired? Auburn, y'all are a Bama win away from putting up a Hugh Freeze for another year. I just want y'all to know that.
Hugh Freeze may not be going anywhere.
You
do not want to fire your coach right now.
There's some idiots in the Mississippi State fan base, and I use that term emphatically, that want to fire Jeff Lebby because you look at what we were last year. We're 7-1 against the spread this year. We've lost 3 one-possession SEC games, 2 of them in overtime. That would be the worst decision in the history of Mississippi State football. We made some dumb ones. We hired Joe Moorhead. We've made some dumb ones. Hired Zach Arnett.
It would be the only way that Arkansas wouldn't be the worst job opening in the SEC.
That's it because we've churned through so many coaches lately that it would be a terrible destination. And it's an abysmal idea. But as it stands right now, Auburn is going to be possibly the 3rd, if not the 4th best job in the SEC, depending on what Lane Kiffin does. And I'm sure you saw Nick Saban's comments. Did you see what Nick Saban said about that? About Lane Kiffin?
Oh, are you talking about these comments I have pulled up on my phone here?
Yeah, that I had pulled up that I was hoping we could kind of get to. Guys, we're going a little longer. That's fine. We're going to be a little over an hour. There's your Heisman odds for the day. But Nick Saban suggests to Chris Lowe that Lane Kiffin may already have a better job. I'll set it up and let you talk at Ole Miss than he would at LSU or Florida. And the points he makes are great.
It's almost like he's listened to me talk on this podcast before. Does Nick Saban watch the 2 Buck Sports Show?
I think he does. Jobs that weren't great before are now. Lane is the first name up for Florida and for LSU, but I think you have a long debate about whether one of those jobs is actually better than the job he has now. But he has some guys over there at Ole Miss that give him pretty much whatever he wants from a roster standpoint. Maybe you've got alumni who are more passionate about football, but are they willing to invest more than what you have now to win? Because a lot of people don't believe in this, you know what? And for me, what you said, what Nick Saban's saying, Ole Miss has proven they're going to do whatever it takes for Lane Kiffin to be competitive. Yes, there might be deeper coffers at LSU and Florida, but so far they haven't proven that they're willing to do whatever it takes like Ole Miss has for him.
Well, LSU and Florida is going to expect Kiffin to come in and play their game. We have built the house around this. I mean, you're talking about a cornerstone, buddy. He's the foundation. He was allowed to pour the slab, to draw the blueprint, whatever you want, brother. It's yours. Yeah. And and it's worked. It has absolutely worked. This is a new time in college football. The teams that are firing their coaches right now either have had terrible coaches. Look at LSU. Or cannot figure out the portal. Look at Florida. I mean, you've got to be able to have organizational alignment up here all the way up to the president, which LSU doesn't have.
Yeah.
And the governor of LSU came and said, I want a Charlie Kirk statue on campus, and we're going to fire the football coach. What are we doing?
They may not have an athletic director. There's a world where the AD's gone too because he's made 2 bad hires.
But who's going to fire him, Rusty?
I mean, the governor. The governor.
That's what I'm saying. Is what I'm talking about, man. LSU's a great job, but it's like leaving your cozy mansion in the mountains and going to a mansion on the beach that's got better access to a gym or something. Is it really that great? Is it really that much of an upgrade?
So LSU historically, I would say yes. Right now, the state of the program, I would say I don't think so because of what you said. You've given the
if
keys
history
to Lane
matters,
Kiffin.
go take the Penn State job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I'm saying from a historical standpoint, yes. In a here and now, what have you done for me lately? No, because you have the keys to the car at Ole Miss. You're going to get the keys at LSU, but somebody else is going to be hanging on that key ring, and you're not going to be the only one.
You're going to have a passenger. You're going to have a backseat driver.
Yeah. It's going to be a driver's ed car. At Ole Miss, you're the only one driving. At LSU, you're going to have a driver's ed car. Where they've got pedals too.
You know what happens at LSU when they're like, "Oh, you've got this booster function here. You've got to go schmooze these people who love to have access because we're LSU, we're Louisiana, we take care of our own." And Lane Kiffin goes, "I'm not going to do that," and they say, "No, you are going to do that." That will be a problem. In Oxford, Mississippi, if Keith Carter, the athletic director, says, "Hey, this booster wants to talk to you," and he's like, "Well," if he looks at his phone, and he's like, "But if he wants to see me, he can turn on the TV on Saturday." And then he hangs up the phone, and then everybody goes like, "Lane has spoken."
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, hey, thanks for hanging with us for over an hour today on your Wednesday. We appreciate everybody in the comments, everybody tuning in on Twitter, on YouTube. If you watched and didn't say anything, shame on you. Speak up next time. We want to know you're here. Let us know you're hanging out with us. We'll be back live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. Recapping the game from tonight. Come hang with us on the post-game bounce tonight. Me and Kenny are going to be here starting in the fourth quarter, watching the end of the game with y'all. Come hang with us as we do that. But Drew and I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. You got Anthony Sane today at 1 o'clock. In the meantime, y'all go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, tell them why there are no refunds.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. Hope everybody has a good night. Stay inside. Don't get wet. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go Grizz.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.